Hey, what's up guys, it's Aaron here, and welcome to the part 2 of my tutorial series. I guess you guys really love crushing that like button, so today I'll be teaching you how to do splines and sync and time remap in this tutorial no, not sync, just time remap and splines and the basics of text and the text animations or whatever, but I won't be including that in the tutorial title because why not. So I'm gonna call this intro-main comp, and I'm gonna take the text and drag it in here, and remember the time remap, so it's not laggy. So if you have to watch the last tutorial to get this one, sorry. You can watch it by going onto my channel and finding it somewhere, or a link in the description, because I'm not a lazy guy. Okay, kinda am lazy. But we're just gonna go here, keyframe the scale. So you imported your text, imported your song, keyframe the scale, go to like the start transition and make that a keyframe it, like if you hit the stopwatch and then hit the keyframe thing, you actually remove keyframes like that, so just like this, I can remove keyframes. But then what you want to do is turn down scale to like turn down the scale to like a 0, because why not? I was just checking for murderers in my closet, because you know sometimes people get murdered. The murderers are usually in your closet. And you see that? It looks like that looks kind of smooth. Make sure the cop is 60 FPS, alright? So that happened to me last time. It was like at 30 and I was like, what? Why isn't this smooth? Anyways, we're going to hold down Alt on our keyboard and we're going to find this expression right here. And it's created by Dan Ebert. Sorry if I butchered up your name. But you can check him out in link in description, and I'll link this down below. I'll put this down below in the description, the script, and credit the creator, because I'm not gonna get copyrighted. So what you're gonna do is hold down Alt on your keyboard, click on the stopwatch, and you have a bounce expression. So you see that? You saw that? So if you see this this show post expression graph, you hit that and go select both of these keyframes. And remember earlier we were in the graph editor using this, so that was the speed graph. Sorry if I messed up there. So you see that it goes down and then it comes back up. You can see that little line, it changes. So you see that? So you can, that's the expression right there. So it goes. And I mean, After Effects should have something to convert that into keyframes, but I guess it's just stupid. So that's what it looks like, but remember, there's no background on this. So what we're going to do is make a background. So I want the background to be black. You can make it any color, and you can even add a gradient ramp on the background, which is pretty cool. I'll teach you how to do that. But what you're going to do is select the ellipse tool. So if you're on the rectangle tool, hold down Alt and hit that, or you can just drag out the ellipse tool. You want to just hold down Shift on your keyboard, make that like that big. Go to a line, center it out, select the layer, hit Y on your keyboard, and then you can drag this, hold down Control, and it's going to center it out for you. Now you can put this under the text, hit U on the text so you can see the scale. Go to like the first keyframe, hit Control Shift D, and delete that. So there's nothing there before it, and it can render faster. See, ultimately. Now what you want to do is do the same thing, hold down U, and just like, I don't know, just like hold on stopwatch and make this 100. Do the exact same thing, okay? But I'm going to teach you, just ease it a different way, because I would prefer it to be eased a different way rather than it bulging up with the text. So I'm going to hit F9. F9 on your keyboards, guys. F9 to ease, if I didn't tell you that. You're like, oh, that came up way faster. What you can do is you can move this. No, not the keyframe. So I was that tool, and you can move this, apparently, somehow. And you can do that. And you can just Control Shift D Let's watch it from the start. Sorry if I'm going too quick. Oh my god, it's still there. Okay, now that looks much better. Don't worry, that was just a glitch. What? That was a... Now the next thing we're gonna add is a burst, cause why not? So we make new composition, we call this burst. And we'll change the settings. So I'm gonna change this to, so this is 1920 by 1080, right? I'm gonna change this to 3000 by 3000, no crap. 3000 by 3000. Alright? Call this burst. I'll tell you what I'm about to do with this. So I'm gonna hit new. I'm gonna call this burst. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this burst. Burst -1. So space -1. Alright. I'm gonna add new solid. And it doesn't matter what color. We're gonna add fractal noise to this, and it's gonna look like this. Foggy stuff. Turn up the contrast by a lot. Like I think, yeah, that would be great. And you want to change the transform. Turn down the uniform scale. Turn off the uniform scaling and change that to like that. That looks pretty good. Now, and after you're done, all you have to do is just make a new composition. Make sure to set to HGTV 2997 and then just change this to 60 FPS. And there you go. Now I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to call that burst, like the actual burst. Drag and drop burst -1. And if you can see what I just did there, I can use the position tool. And I can move this upwards. And you know what? I wouldn't mess with that yet, the position tool yet. What I would do is I would use the transform position tool so it doesn't mess up when I'm trying to add another effect to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the position. You see that? I'm going to go like up, up, up. I feel like this is too big, so I can change up the scale. Like so it matches the corners. Like that, go up, 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 and then, oh yeah, I forgot to do this too. And make sure you, and you also have to add a mask, so. Oh my god, this is so confusing. So what I did was, you have to add a mask. Forgot to do that. All you have to do is scale this up a bit. Hold down Alt on your keyboard and make sure you have the rectangle tool and just do something like that. Something about that big, you know? And make sure it's far away from the corners. Now it's just turning into that, so that's fine. Yeah, I think you're good to go. Now all you have to do is make the position go upwards. And you see the mask feather, you just want to increase that a bit. So it looks something like that. Yeah, I think that should do the trick. I will just make that a bit more. You know, that looks good. Now we're going to take the position, keyframe this all the way back, 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 and then go position. And we're just going to make this go for like 2 seconds. And I'm just going to make this go downwards. Let's make this like go all the way down like so. I'm just gonna keyframe that and I'm just gonna make it go that way and it's gonna go, and you see that? It's just gonna go something like that. Now we can pre-compose this and make sure it's set to move. Alright, and as that's gonna happen, now you can just delete that like so. I think you're good. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to add first effect. You're gonna need VC Color Vibrance. That's a plugin you can get for free on Video Copilot's website. So just search up VC Color Vibrance and you should find it. Okay, I'm gonna keep that there. I'm gonna turn like the gamma down to like 0.37. So it looks something like this. Now since I want the intro to be like what color, let's make this, you know, red. Or maybe like a green, light greenish color. Yeah, that looks pretty good, yeah. And that's your burst right there. So you see that it moves too. Now what we're gonna add is we're going to add polar coordinates to this. And we're just gonna make that 100, and then we're just set this to rect to polar, and now you have this like burst. So what you want to do now is just change this up. So scale this up like about that much, and if I turn this to full quality, I know it's gonna take some time to render, but that's what it looks like. It looks like a burst. And it's way better than, I would say, in my opinion, personally, way better than Vapor GTX's burst. So it looks much better. I don't know. And yeah, that's it. So that's what it looks like. So I'm just gonna Control-Shift-D because you can't see that anymore. And there you go. That's your burst. So I would put this in a folder, and I would put this in a folder and call this a burst. And then you can make this. Honestly, it doesn't need to be the color I'm making it, but you can make this any color you want. Now, we see when we go into start and you can see the burst, hit Control-Shift-D and do that. Now, oh yeah, I forgot to do this too. So you can go into VC Color Vibrance, you know, just hit that keyframes, hit that so it's transparent, and then you can set this to on. And yeah, that's just gonna make it transparent. So when you go into the main comp, you can see it transparent, and then you could just do this so it follows up. See, that looks pretty cool. See, I want to be cautious about it coming in, so do that. Now we'll put it like right there. That would look pretty cool. So like it just comes out at the second beat. So now we're gonna make a burst spline, just like Shark Effects. So I'm gonna call this. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it in the same composition because I prefer shape layers over compositions. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to 4, go to the proportional grid, turn that on, so you hit that and proportional grid. I did that in the last video. And now we're just gonna hit, okay, so we're just gonna, you see if there's any layer selected, so don't select the layer. The fill, if you hit that little like thing, you can change it, so you can turn that off. The stroke, I want you to make it like 51, alright? So this is center. I want you to hit that and go right about there. Like it's like the middle of like the last box. So like right there. And it's gonna look something like this, alright? Now, if we just fit this in, it's gonna look something like this. Alright? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna animate this for 2 seconds. So what we're gonna go in here. I didn't teach you how to do this, so you wanna go in here. I'm gonna remove the proportional grid since it's very annoying. It's very annoying. You wanna go in here, click on like you can pull this down, click on add, and then you wanna hit trim paths, and you wanna make the end a 0. So much easier, right? Hit fit. And you want to go to like a 2 and make that 100. So make both of those 100, and when it starts, make both of those a 0. Offset it a bit, so like just take the bottom one, select the bottom ones, and then do that, and it's gonna do this, right? I think you should make that a bit more. What I prefer doing instead is, you know what we should do? We should just keep this right here, and you should just move the top ones, because I think that would be much better, in my opinion. So if you just do that, it's gonna do that, alright? It looks super plain right now. You see that? So let me just play that. What the heck was that? So you're just gonna F9 the last two, and we're just gonna do that. And now it looks something like this. And you see that? That looks so smooth. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set, you see this last one right here? We're gonna change this value to 70. And it's gonna stay like that, but you don't need, it doesn't need to be 70, you can make it 60. So it's much more farther. But yeah, I think that's what you want it to be, so it looks like that. And just looks like that. Now what you can do is if you go onto this one right here, this keyframe, where it's starting out, you wanna go into shape 1, go into stroke, and turn on stroke width. Just add a keyframe stroke width, then hit U on your keyboard, and you're gonna have something like this, alright? Now you wanna go right about here and make the stroke width a 0. And we're gonna F9 this too. So F9 and smoothen this out, and it's gonna look like this. And I think this looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. You know, I want to change this. I want to make that a 70. I think that would be much better. So you see that? Yeah, that looks much better, probably. Yeah, that looks much better. And then we're going to come in Control-Shift-D, and we're going to add a repeater. So if we add a repeater to that, and make that like a 10, probably. And make this sort of, make sure the position is 0. You can just rotate that using mats. And I don't know what it's going to be, but I just want to make it look proportional. I think that looks pretty good. It's going to look like this. And I feel like the stroke width is too low in the start. So you can change that up to like a 60 maybe. And yeah, I think that does the trick. I mean, and that's what it looks like. So it looks something like this. Yeah, I mean, you could just mess around with that and get what it is, but so I think I just moved it ahead a bit, so it looks like that, and that looks pretty good, right? So you could just put this under here, under like the burst, and like put that there, and you can just hit. So you can just move this right there. So I'm just gonna move that. So you can just like drag it across, and that. Whoa. That was scary. I got scared. Don't worry, guys. Sometimes I'm creeped out. Anyways, don't worry what happened there. I was a bit creeped out. I hit my closet and I was like, what? So I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna put that like this right here. That looks pretty cool. And I think it's a bit slow in my opinion. So you could just select these, hold down Alt. If you just hold down, no, that's not how it works. But if you select all of these and hold down Alt on your keyboard, you can slow that down and it's gonna change accordingly. So you can just move that right there, and then it's gonna go. I'm just gonna make that a bit less. And then you could just duplicate this. Oh my god, the tutorial is gonna be so long. This tutorial. And all you want to do is be creative. Alright. But what I would do right here is I would just do this. And it goes like that, and you can do that. And move that, you can duplicate those, both of those using Control D, and then move that in again. And you can just keep doing that. And I mean, the possibilities are like endless, trust me. So you just do that. So you see those keyframes right there, you can just move it like that accordingly. And yeah, that's what you want to do, and that's how you make those splines. So I think the tutorial is pretty long. It's been like 21 minutes, and I really don't want to like mess around with this. 21 minutes, I mean, that's not that long. We can continue. Now we're gonna make a new spline, new composition, and we're gonna call this a time remap spline. And what you can do is you can make the stroke like 51, move these, and just make this like splines. So you can just mess around, make a good spline. So just do that. And I'm just gonna keep messing around and making the spline. I would just do something like this. And I would just like take this. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So you just want to mess around, make the spline, and then what we're going to do is add trim paths to it and do the exact same thing we did. So we're just going to go like around 10 seconds. No, maybe around like 6. I mean, we could go around as far as we want. I'm going to make it go around 7. Alright. So I'm just going to move that right there. We could go around 7 seconds. Keyframe. And I'm just going to easy ease it first. And then offset it. Because then I could just check if they both... Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to just offset it a bit. And it's going to go like... Now what you want to do is you want to add a repeater again, but this is going to be different. Add a repeater to this, and then make it a 2. Make the copies a 2. Make the position a 0. Make the rotation a 180. And what it's going to do is going to rotate it. So you see that? It's going to go... It's going to go like that. And that looks pretty cool. Then we can go into our text, we can go into our main comp, and we can time remap the spline. So if we go into comp, you see this is called comp 1. We call this spline dash time remap. You don't need to name it, but it makes it so much easier, trust me. And I'm just gonna add that on top of the text, alright? And as you can see, it goes like this, and it's already at the end, but if you could drag it out, maybe like right around there, that would be pretty cool. So now I'm going to time remap this, enable time remapping, and we're just going to select this keyframe. So you can just hit that keyframe icon. So it's going to move for you, so just you keep hitting that keyframe icon each time. So I prefer, so since you can't see the song, I prefer you can move it on top, so you can see the markers. And you just want to keep doing that, alright? And you just keep doing that. And just keep doing that, alright? So all you want to do is just keep keyframing the beats. because it's not gonna end soon. 9. What was the last beat? Oh my god, the last beat isn't here yet. And that's the last beat right there. And then after that, it doesn't even matter. So, whatever. YOLO. And then we're just gonna F9 keyframe convert them, and we're gonna go into the value graph. Let me show you what to do. You select that tool, and then what you want to do is go into one, and you see that, just move it up a little bit and move that down like a little bit. Just like, don't even bother with anything, just move it up and down like a very little amount. And as you guys can see, and that looks pretty cool. Now what you want to do, look at this trick I'm going to show you guys. So what we're going to do, you see this goes over the text. I don't want it to at first, so I'm going to move that under the text, the spline under the text. And now look what it gives that effect of. So it goes under. Sorry, I guess. Don't worry about that. What the heck? It just went over the text. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So, I'm just good. How long is this tutorial? It's 26 minutes. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? So what I prefer doing is changing these colors to like a different color. So I'm gonna change that to green. Change this one to green too. That looks really cool. And this one was faster. And it's kind of lagging. But you can get creative with this, alright? I'm going to move this all the way back to the bottom so you can see it again. What the heck happened? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Now, what I prefer doing is taking the burst and putting it on top under the text, like right under. So it just covers up the time line. Now, what I would do is I would just go into this. I mean, not into the burst, sorry. This spline timing map thing. And I would add like a drop shadow so it doesn't mess with the burst. So just add like a drop shadow. Turn that to like a 20. And do something like that. Make this like a 15 and turn it to like 20. And it'll just look like a drop shadow. Now if we go back into our main comp, it's gonna, and we just move the burst under this, I think, yeah, that looks much better. So, and see when it goes over the text, it's like a drop shadow. It looks pretty cool. Oh, and last tutorial I promised to put the files in the description, but I know if I do that, all of you are just gonna steal it and not learn from it like you did with the burst. Nobody learned from that. I mean, that burst was pretty bad and horrible, to be honest. I didn't really like that burst. I didn't really like that burst, all right? So what I did was, you know what, that's fine. You know what, I'm gonna not give that away now. So you see that, and that's what it looks like. The tutorial, it's been like almost there. So yeah, and I think that's it. Next tutorial is gonna be particles for the background and sync. Yeah. So yeah, that's for this tutorial. Lol.